Good evening, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to get started right now. We're going to get rid of this here and let's rock and roll. Just wanted to take a quick second, give you guys an update on a couple of items. One being, I was discussing earlier that we've only got a limited amount of spots. We've got 100 spots open. And so far we are trading down. I just had 3 people sign up today, and these are going quick. So we're going to hit up 100 spots or February 1st, whichever one comes first. And you've only got 5 days, 22 hours, and 48 minutes to sign up at our discount rate of $55 a month US. By the way, you get 30 days free on that, okay? So make sure you check that out. We are pretty much giving this stuff away right now for the first 100 subscribers. After that, whenever the last 15 spots fill up, or whenever the 5 days expires, whichever one comes first, the price is going to go up to $75 US, and I'm telling you, they're going real quick. We just had another 3 people sign up today, so there's not going to be many left. Okay, we're going to get rolling here, and I just want to take care of a couple of things. One, make sure you sign up to us if you didn't find us at Instagram, Future45 Trade Signals. Sign up to our website. I was just talking about it, f45trading.com. This is where you'll get 30 days free. Cancel within the first 15 days. Do not get charged if you don't like it, but I guarantee you're going to like it. We're sending out trade signals everywhere, and they are very profitable. I'll show you a couple of trades that we took part in here earlier. And show you some of the profit that we're making on these things. So we're going to get after it here. And if you're on the YouTube channel watching this, just make sure you click the little button down in the right hand corner here and click subscribe to our channel, please. More subscribers we get, the more information we get out there, the more followers we can get, the better off we're going to be. So let's do it, guys. Okay, listen, we're going to get going here and discuss the US dollar index to start with. We're going to go into the Euro USD. We're going to discuss a little bit of the pound dollar again, a little bit of the pound yen. We're going to briefly touch on the US CAD, and what else? We're going to discuss oil, and we are going to discuss UJ, or fun pair here, the dollar yen. We're going to discuss that real quickly. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, and I'm going to go into copper real quickly, so that's a favorite of mine, and we're going to discuss these last ones here real briefly. So let's get rolling into it. We had another big down day today on the US dollar index, and I had pointed out some levels yesterday. Look, I've been live doing an hour and a half trading Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, and it's now Thursday morning. 3 days in a row where we've been at this doing live trading. So what did I call earlier in the week? I said US dollar was going to go down, and where did it go? Down. Every single time. If you don't believe me, jump on the past live trading sessions on YouTube. They're all labeled, they're all sitting right there, they're all date stamped, and they're time stamped, so you can see when I made those calls, and I said it's all going down. And what levels did I pick out here? I picked out another higher one here today that I thought price was going to break, and it was hit right here at 89.55. Price smashed through that, so no problem there. Check that one off. That one's done. Boom, right there. The next level we're coming to is 88.75. This is a big level right here, and price looks like it is banging off of that right now. So I'm just going to zoom in here real quick and try and get some lows, and look at this here. This low here came in at 88.75.3 and 88.74. So we have broken it, and now it looks like price wants to bounce off of that level. So what I think we could end up seeing here is, one second, I'm just managing a trade here that I'll talk about here in a second. But what I think we could see is a bit of a retracement. So price is going to want to do one of two things. I'm going to go and I'll show you why here. Look, you see we're right down at the middle of this weekly candle, this weekly bearish candle right here. It's a consolidation range. Price typically trades from consolidation to consolidation and expands through. or retraces at that point. So what we're seeing here right now is price is bouncing a little bit right now at this 88.75 level. So if price breaks through 88.75, and I'm not talking just a wick down and then a rejection, I'm talking like a straight down candle through that level, and even if it's a few pips through that level and it closes below it, price is going to go down, and we're going to come right down to here to 86.85. That is the next level that we're looking at. These candles right in here, and I don't know why this guy's on here, but I'm going to get rid of that guy right now. That is our next target. So just depending on how much this US dollar index wants to slide is an indication of where we could be going, which is this one right there. Now there's a little thing you can do, a little trick here that you can do. You can take the last consolidation, these down candles here, you can go like this and take that and then measure it off the last consolidation, boom, right there. That would put us down right just below this consolidation area right here. Look at that. That could be the next target too, 85. So we'll see what happens there. Very interesting, but we've got a nice downward movement on the US dollar index, and as long as price doesn't get above, now here's the thing, I would tolerate price, see these equal highs here where it came up, stabbed up, wicked, everyone's going short right there, and they're jamming their stops right there. Right there. Okay, so just watch that area. Price may want to come up, and you see this 89.28 right here. I'm just going to actually lower that just a hair. Right about there. About 88.26. You know what? We'll make it an even number. No, it is technically an even number, but 0 or 5. And we'll go to 89.25. So what we could see, price may do a pause here before it smashes through. We could see this happen. Okay, so just watch out and make sure that, you know, I'll discuss why this is important here in a minute, but we could see this occur. Okay, I don't think it's going to retrace that deep, but that would be my line in the sand. If price goes any higher than 89.25, we'll be looking for much higher prices. I don't think we're going to see it. We're in this nice downtrend, and I think we're going to finish the week off much lower. I believe, again, that these levels down here are going to get hit, 87.98. You could call this one, 1 second here. I just want to make sure I got the right levels. Where's that weekly level? There we go. I'm going to switch this one to 88 even. Okay, and you know what I'll do? Oh, I'm sorry, guys, I don't know. Let me try this one more time here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So I want to make sure I got the right levels here. Here it is right here, this guy right here. 86.85. Okay, that's the level I'm looking at. Too many lines on the charts. Okay, here we go. So that's going to be the next level for sure. And then we could even see these lows being swept right here at that's 87.80. So that would be the next down targets that I'm talking about. Okay. So price right now, we're just waiting to see what's going to happen if it wants to keep going through 88.75 again. It hasn't done it yet. It wants to. It's touched it. Hasn't wanted to go down there yet. 88.75, and then 87.80 is going to be our next level to watch, and then from there it's going to be 86.85. So what I'm suggesting here is continued bearishness on the US dollar index. So if that's the case, and this may not happen, okay, right? This move up and then down, it may not happen. It may only come, see this blue line right here, okay? Price may even only want to come to there, if at all, right? It could just fall out of bed right now. But I'd like to see some sort of move higher before it goes down, and I'll tell you why. Because we got caught last night. We were looking for a bit of a downward move, and price didn't give it to it really at all to us. It just kept steamrolling higher and higher and higher. And I'll show you what I mean by that here, like the euro did here. See, this was yesterday. Sorry, this was trading all day yesterday. This is when I did the live session. I was hoping for a little drop down, just a little drop down to the 65 buy area, and I had my target. I mean, Jesus, the target went way above that. Like it was about another 83 pips above that. Surprised the hell out of me. I thought it was just going to come in, pop up, take the highs, and be done with it. Smoking day today, or on Wednesday there. So we did not get a pullback, and this is what I don't want to see. I'd want to see a little bit of a pullback. Now you could have got in right here. This was a good move here. See how price came up and banged off of this this little consolidation right in here and ran up. Even that would have been good enough, but unfortunately I was not watching the markets right at that time, so I was expecting price to come a bit lower. It is what it is. But again, hopefully this will give us just a little bit of a retrace, come back up to these levels right here, see where this blue line is, and then continue heading down from there. And if that's the case, again, we're looking at further bearishness on the US dollar index. Let's go over to the euro. I want to see this move down to right here, right there, 24.14. And you know what, just for argument's sake, make it a nice even 5 number right there. That's where I want to see price go to. So, and again, we're targeting higher, right? I think we still have a little bit more to slide on the dollar index, and if we look at the euro and where we could be going, I mean, there's tons of areas in here. I'm just going to go out to a monthly. You can see on a monthly, so we're well. If price was going to bounce, sorry, there's a little bit of shrapnel in here. Let me just clean this up for you guys so you can see it a little bit better. Get rid of those buy levels from yesterday. And one more. There we go. Okay, that looks a bit better. So just go to a monthly and a monthly, and zoom in here, and you can see if price was going to bounce. See how price came up to this blue line here, bounced, had a nice little retracement, came down, traded back to the top of this consolidation range here, and then broke out. So what I think is going to happen, again, you can kind of judge these two ranges. So from the last down candle, you come, take a line, go straight up, and this is sort of what you can expect for the next push up. We're getting into this area here, which brings us back up to basically this consolidation area in here. Okay, so if price could keep going, I mean, hey, we could be coming right up here and taking out the highs above here. Not a problem, but I'll show you. See these levels up in here? I've identified these weeks and weeks ago where I believe price was going to head. Just didn't know how far down the US dollar index was going to get. But now that we see this massive downward movement, we're going to expect a little bit lower here. So I want to see what's going to happen again. But I think I want to see, judging from yesterday's trading now, be careful. There is a little pocket right here where price could slip down to, and that would be a healthy decline from current levels. I mean, that'd be 70 pip decline. Don't want to see that. I want to see price go in right from this area, right from this 124.15 level, and start running. Now let's just double check this with a little bit of news here, shall we? One second, I'm just going to bring up Forex Factory, and look at that. We got some Euro news coming out. Ooh, we got lots of Euro news coming out. This could push us up nicely or down, one of the two. We don't know yet. Either way, though, this is going to go up. So any down movement on this, you can buy into. You wouldn't have a problem doing that. If this was going to reverse, it would have reversed already. And but I think we can pick targets higher, like I was saying here. Now let's just go in here. What I want to try and do is dial this in here for a decent trade, and let's say 127.70. That would be a long ways out. I don't think we're going to get there tomorrow or Friday. I'd be surprised. So let's see if we can't find something that's maybe a little closer to the market. Let's see here. I'd probably start looking at maybe the highs right here getting taken out at 125.60. So that's about 150 pips away. That might be a level that we can watch right there. I'll just put a line out on that one. $125.60. So that may be a level to watch just for today and tomorrow's trading. I don't know that we're going to get much higher than that this week. I'd be shocked if we did. I mean, we've already put in some big ranges. Like, you look at today. Look at the range today. Today was a 120 pip day range. Pretty good range on today's. In order for price to come down to our entry level, let's say at 124.15, which I was talking about, right up to this level, I mean, that's 130 pips. So don't know if we're going to get that much range, but I'm going to do some calculations here. We're going to do a little bit of figuring, and I will get you a range as to when we where we could be seeing it go to. And one second, guys, I'm just doing some quick calculations here. 24/7, 23, so we're 15, 10, 25. You could call it 10, I guess. Sorry, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. 24.10, let's call it. And so 10, 20, yeah, we're about 25 pips. So we could go like this and make this 25. Where's the 25? Right there. And if price trades off of that, so there's the high. So there's 75 pips. So 100 pips, right? I'm just kind of trying to do some quick math here, guys, and let's see where this takes us to. Drop a line, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there, and then we'll drop back on the daily and see where we're at. Right here, and that takes us right to the top of that high, so that could be a nice target actually on the day. So we'll put a 100 pip stop or 100 pip target on. If it gets the extra little bit of juice, great, but that may happen into Friday. I don't know, this could be a 2-day trade. We'll see what happens, but again, let's do this. I want to come back. I want to see this drop down and then pop up, so we can actually put in a pending order on this here. I'll do that one here, and I just want to see what price does for the next like hour, and then we'll drop a pending order in on that one. But I will put some price levels on. Actually, I don't trade out of this account. I trade out of another demo account. So I don't want to put any limit orders in this one because that's in the other one, but I don't want to forget about it doing it either. So let's just say we'll just mark it up here like this, and then we'll bring this guy down here, and we'll say here and there. And I think you guys get the gist of that, right? Okay, so 24,150, yeah, ish, and we could see a 25 pip drop. So I'm just going to try to figure out where we put the stop. So there's 25 pips. If we put a stop under the low, right about there, we come in right about there, which would be a nice area there. However, that's a 50 pip stop, 50, 60 pip stop on that 124.15. So that's a big stop. I don't typically like to do stops that big, but we are doing 100 pip targets. So I would say reduce your risk. Maybe take a couple of different orders along the way if price does want to trade down to this area here. I don't like stops that big though, but anyway, we'll just do this quick. Well, that's a little big. Dial that one down. Right. And I typically like I say, I typically like to do a 30 pip stop. So that would take us to here, which would, I think if they're going to run price down, and again, this all just depends on what the US daily is going to do. Right, so far we're still knocking on the door there. Price could slam in there, but it could reverse a bit, and I don't want to. Look at these highs here. Let me look at this. High comes in, yeah, see 14, so that 15's a probably a good area, maybe even down to here. I don't want to say 124.10. I think it'll probably stretch down there, but I don't want to miss it if it just touches, because like you can see right here where price, I would have said, you know, let's go long right here, for instance, and price just came down and just touched the top of this wick for 123.29, 123.30, and the high of this came in at 123.28. So it missed it by just, that's the worst, is you put your limit order in, you set it in, you walk away, you watch price, you think it's going to come down to this level, and you're worried about it going too deep, and it literally misses your entry by a pip and then screams the other way. You know, that's basically what happened here a couple of days this week for us. But I don't know. I'm going to think about this one. I'm going to come back. I'll set it up as this for now, and let me just think on this one here. Excuse me, and we'll come back to it. But we definitely want to have about a 30 pip stop, and I'll put that in here. Boom. And like I said, I'd like to actually go a little bit lower. It's a pretty slippery area in here, but there is a 15-minute consolidation area right in here. But again, that's dropping another 35 pips. So, I'll be honest with you. If price comes down past 120, like if price comes down past here, really, it's probably going to go a bit lower. So you may want to get out of it. And what I might actually do, I don't want to jam the stop up either, but I would put that as sort of a line in the sand to make a decision. And you could say 124 even, and say, look, if price hits that level, this is the decision point, and actually you may be able to permit it to go a little bit further. Call it 123.95. So I'd leave it up to you. If price hits down to 123.95, it could slip down, it could stop us out, and it could want to look for the lows under here. What I want to see is price just basically do what it's doing right here and just wick, touch the top, and then run. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. But won't know what happens until price progresses a little bit further, and there is some news. This is what I was driving at here. So, Forex Factory, we've got Thursday news coming up. We've got some Euro at 3, some at 4, and then some big minimum bid rate coming in at 745. So we'll see what this wants to do. And then there's some Euro press conference in there as well too. So yeah, we could see some movement. So this might punch. This might punch really good up into here. So. And that's our target up there, obviously. Whoops. I accidentally put a sell limit in there. You gotta be careful. One-click trading. I hate it when it does that. But I'll get it right here. And it drives me crazy when it's not lined up right. I'm not OCD or anything, but it just, aesthetic-wise, I like it to be nice and flush with everything. Okay. And 15, and away we go. So, that's our area that we're looking at. I did it again. Wow. Targets. That took a minute. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so that's what we're looking there. Moving on. Pound dollar. I actually, interestingly enough, had a. I was doing some trading on this earlier today. What is we got here? Oh yeah. So this is just a demo account, but I was doing some trading on this earlier. I typically don't go into Asian sessions and trade, and the day ended for me anyway. Where the hell is it here? Day ends right here for me anyway, trading wise. So I typically don't trade after there. I typically actually don't trade after here. So price came in, slammed down. I took a couple orders, and I still got one sitting on there, and my target up here at 143.20. But this is 100 pips. Just in case you're trying to do the math, I got in at 142.20, and I stacked in 3 orders, one at 30 pips, one at 50 pips, and the last order at 100 pips. And price is almost up to that 100 pip level right now. So I just, the other 2, it's in profit. I'm not worried about. There's my stop loss right above it. I think it's plus, whatever it is, 26 pips. I'd probably move that up to plus 30 pips, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. 35, it's too much. 33, a couple more. What was that? 32. 30. That's what I'm looking for, I think. Yeah, close enough. Anyway, I'm just looking. This is just kind of a fun trade. I don't usually trade it, but I saw price slamming back down into these after it broke up, and I wanted to see if price was going to hold here, and it just hit it perfectly, held it, and ran. So nice little demo trade that I took there. But the euro, the pound dollar, and actually while I'm on this, so this is my demo account that I trade. While I'm on this, I'm going to actually pop in a pending order right now. So we'll get this, we'll get this, 124.15. Put a stop in at 123. We'll say 80. 5 extra pips just in case. And 120. What did I say my limit was? 125.15, I believe it was. I can't hit enter. I do that all the time. Too quick to do it. 1 second. Pending order 124.15. Stop loss 123.80. And take profit is 125.15. Okay. And we'll say it's good till tomorrow. And we'll put that in there. So there we go. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Same chart. Different account, but price just going under here. Now I don't like, again, in an ideal world, I think I would probably have my stop loss down here just in case it did want to come down and just tag onto this area here and just sort of sweep these lows before rebounding. Hopefully it won't get down there. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to jam it up or anything like that, but where was it? It was at 80, I think, wasn't it? It's right there. So we'll leave it there. It's got a little bit of room to move in here. If it gets down here, I don't necessarily know if that's just going to stop it or if it's going to want to come under here. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, back to the pound. So again, took a trade off of here a few hours ago. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 6 hours ago. Again, I don't trade in the Asian session, but I did see price starting to kind of stack here. You see how it's consolidating, stacking, and then it traded up and then traded back into the consolidation area. I got long at that 142.20 and price skyrocketed from there. So it was a nice little trade, but I stacked it with 3 orders. First order 30 pips, second order 50 pips, took profit on both of those. My stop loss is now plus 30 pips for all intents and purposes. And my last target on my last stack there is 100 pips. So I want to see if it gets up there. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. I've already made the profit off of it, so that's all that matters. So I'm just kind of more so illustrating a different way of trading. So with the euro, what you've got here is you've got a buy limit. I put 1 buy limit in at 5 mini lots, okay, with 1 target. Now I'm typically around, obviously, and I can watch price. So as price hits 30 pips, I move my stop up to break even, and then I take some profits off of the table. So I'll usually take half the trade, or in this case it's 5 minis, so I'll take 2 of the 5 off, take that profit, move my stop to break even, and then I'm trading risk free and I have profit in my account. So if price does drop back down, takes me out, it doesn't matter, don't lose any money, and I still gain a little bit. So I'm always slowly moving my bank account into the profitable side, into the black. So what? So that's the difference. Okay, so I set this limit order here. So that's a singular trade because I'm watching price. This one here, I wasn't watching price, so I stacked the orders. I put 3 orders in, all the same, with 3 different take profit levels, and I walked away, and they all executed at their individual time. So that's sort of the difference between the different types of trades that you can do. So just to kind of illustrate that, kind of a cool little thing. So the pound dollar, this thing moved a lot today. This had, I'm just going to go to a daily, and sorry, just some notes that I'm putting on here for a video that I was doing. So you can see this candle here. This was a huge, huge candle. I typically don't like to just jump in the market and go screaming into something after it's moved up like that. You can see here, so price has moved. This is the wrong indicator. Hang on. I just want to get a reading on what today's price was. Oops, Jesus. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Kind of painful to watch, I'm sure. So right about there to right about there. So what are we? That's come on, you 100 and 200 pips today. Like, it was a big day. Big day. Let me just double check that. Was that right? Yeah, 26. 200 pips today. I mean, astronomical day. That's one of the biggest day candles I've seen in a while. Huge day. Anyway, I want to see what price does. I'm thinking it could just tick up, hit this profit level, and then come back down. In any case, if it starts trading under here, just watch out, because the price will slide back down to this area here. And I'll just put a quick rectangle in. See price right above here, above this consolidation. So this could be where price, if it slides below these lows here, could trade down to. So you got to be watching. So you can't just go long anywhere. Obviously, I went long here just because of what price was doing. It was just stair-stepping, stacking, and then broke out of it, and then came back down, slammed into it, ran higher. But I was here to monitor it, and I had all my levels in, so I wasn't worried. But again, if price comes down here and wants to go lower than here, then it's going to want to come under these areas, and it could potentially slide down further. But I don't know. There's not any news on the there isn't any news on the pound dollar for Thursday's trading, so we could be all right. So don't buy it here, obviously, but if you can get price where pretty much where my stop is there on this line right there, if price comes down to this area here, so 124.50, even 124.40, and comes down and looks like it wants to go higher, you can buy that, and I would just target up to here, which would be you get about 60, 70 pips out of that. That'd be a nice haul. So I'll put out a signal. If I see price trading down to that area, I'll put a signal out. And so if price starts to do this, I'll put a signal out, and we'll look at putting a trade in on that one. Excuse me, and see how that comes out. But I just wanted to, I don't like the data feed on this demo account too much. I'm just going to flip back real quick and go to the pound dollar. I've got some areas marked out on this on the weekly. Now you can see here, prices come right up into this candle right in here, this small consolidation area. I'll just see if I can zoom in on that a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. So right here, okay. So this is a bit of a so there's a consolidation area up here, and I'll just see if I can't label this out a little bit better. Okay, so you can see this here. So consolidation area right here, and then these guys, these candles here come to the top of that consolidation area. Well, there's another one, a little mini one that they did right in this area here. And you see how I've got my target right there? That's kind of where I'm thinking they're going to jam price up to. Or I'm sorry, that's where they've jammed price up to, my mistake, today. And we're trading in there, and price does not want to seem to reject off of that yet. And we had a down That's on the weekly, and on the daily, again, we've had price just touch that level, and now we're trading through there again. So I'm fairly confident we're going to see further move up into this consolidation area next. And I like this. This is what I like right here. This is the level where I want to put my money on. Is what's the high? Basically right here, right there. That's the target. I mean, if we can get up there, I don't think it's going to do that this week or next week. It might take a month to do it, but I think that's where this thing's going to go. It's going to take out all these old highs pre-Brexit. This was that Brexit drop, if you remember that, from a couple of years ago. Coming up on 2 years, actually, this June, I think it was. I think that's where the price is going to start heading to, because we're already trading well into this area here. So we'll see what price wants to do at this one right here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So price is currently trading, and I want to see, I believe this high is going to get taken out on this guy here, and you see how it kind of coincides with this here. So short term 143, 35, which I don't think is going to be a problem. I think that's going to bust through that here in the next little while. Right here, that's only about 50 pips, not even 40 pips away. So, that's a good target for the short term. And then long term, like I say, just flipping back here, I think, 143. Actually, 143.35. That's actually a nice little target. So we'll watch that anyway. That's kind of what I'm coming to. I don't want to put a trade out on this one yet. I want to see what it does when it comes back down to here, if it gets there, and then we'll go from there. So anyway, moving on. I want to discuss quickly. I called a bunch of levels out on this guy here yesterday as well, and targets hit, no problem. I'll just zoom in here. So I called this perfectly on Tuesday. I said price is going to come up. It's going to take the highs here, and then it's going to slam down, and then probably trade higher from there. It's exactly what it did yesterday, and it's trading up nicely again today. So the pound yen is just coming up. It's the same thing as what the pound dollar is doing, coming up into a big consolidation trading area here. See this blue line, 158 even? I think that's going to be the target. I think that's where price is going to get drawn to. We're a long ways away from that, and I'm just going to get rid of some of the shrapnel on here so we can see it a little bit better. But I think that that's going to be, come on you, that's going to be the next target. It's quite a ways away, right? I mean, it's 200 pips away. But that would be a great target to hit. So if we could get in on this guy and look at, going along on a drop down and a retest into this area here, or even the old highs right here. See how they came up and took these highs and then dropped down and then came back up and just sort of stutter stepped around here, popped up, took the highs, dropped again. I wouldn't be surprised if they came right back down to the top of that level right there. Now, they kind of did it on this candle here. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did this. Now again, there's not a ton of news or anything, so we may not see a market news event that drives it down like that. So we could have to get long right after, right on this candle right here at 155.60. So you could look at that, or I'll just put these marks out on here so you got something to go off of. 155.60, or this guy right here at 155.34. You could even say 135.30, I guess, would probably be a safe bet. Chance of me getting that right on the 30 are slim to none, so we'll just do this. So that could be what we're going to see. A little bit of a buy zone in there. Again, I don't know exactly where price is going to stop. There aren't a ton of market drivers out today for this pair, and I'll just double check that. Yen, I don't know. Euro, no yen news. And then let's look into Friday. Euro, some cable. Oh, and then some yen news on Friday late morning. So yeah, I wouldn't be waiting for that to occur. But anywhere in this box, you could probably get long. Watch price. That's a 30 pip range. So just see what price does at the 156 level. You don't have to jump into it right away. Have a look. If prices just want to kind of stab down and look like it wants to go back up, you can get into it. If it starts to kind of do this, where it starts to dribble in here a little bit, just watch that dribble and just make sure they're not creating equal lows. And because typically they'll like to sweep those equal lows, come down, and then jam higher. Or it might just spike down and hit this right here. So watch that. So you can put a buy in there. I won't put an exact level, but I'll put somewhere in that area. You can go long right here. Okay, and I would suggest putting a stop under here. Oh, if price wants to go anywhere below this candle here, get out, because it'll go right back to here, and then we're talking about 100 pips under, and you don't want to be sitting in this pair when it goes that low. So 154.95, let's call it. So it's about a 35 pip stop, a little bit bigger than, 5 pips bigger, but again, mitigate your risk. Sorry, use a moderate risk with it. I don't, if you typically trade with a half a lot size, or 3 minis or whatever, use 1 mini for this, okay? Because we got a nice target, we got a healthy target, wherever the hell it is. Let's pick our target now. That blue line right there, 158 even. So that's 300 pips away, right? I mean, that's a big target. So give yourself a little room for, and again, that's on the weekly. I mean, that could happen this week. It could happen next week. But if we get some good market drivers on this, then we might see that come to fruition. So have a look at that, and you can set that in if you want. But I would suggest I would recommend maybe not. Like, I put a limit order in on the euro, or I will put a limit order in on the euro, just because that's a fairly safe bet. Because you don't see this one jamming 100 pips down, but I've seen the pound yen do this, and it has some big movements on this. So you got to be very careful. Minimize your risk on this pair. And be careful when you're trading it, because like I say, that you can see some whipsaws on this, and it'll take you for a ride. And if you don't have a big account and you over leverage it with a trade, you're going to get margin calls in a big hurry. So just watch what you're doing there. But I would suggest taking it somewhere in here. And price could want to trade down to this little consolidation area right here at 155, 10. So yeah, give yourself about a 15 pip stop room there. If price goes down anywhere past this, it's going to go down here, and you don't want to be in that trade. So keep that in mind. But it didn't hit really anything too significant. So let me just see what was the high today. I'm going to put a level at the high, which was not there. What was the high so far? We're pretty much banging in on the highs right now. 155. Call it 85, 86, close enough. I just want to see where we are on that pre-Brexit drop there. There we are. Okay, so right here, 155.86. Where the hell was that line? 155.86, somewhere in there. So we're right at the sort of the middle of this candle right here. So I wouldn't have any problem seeing this thing go to this old high here. And I'd hesitate putting it out to this one yet. I think it'll get there, but I don't think it's going to have a problem getting there. I feel like it's going to keep going. I don't want to push my luck, though, too, because I've been right all week on our trades. I haven't had a single trade. It's easy to get all the trades right on a nice big bullish market like this. I mean, when you see the U.S. dollar index just falling out of bed like this, it's so easy to make money in this market, guys. It's just, I mean, so easy to do it. And any of these other pairs are going to, do the opposite of what the U.S. dollar index is going to do, obviously. But I think we're going to see this go up for a little bit longer here yet anyway. But hey guys, if you guys have any questions, just as an aside, just type it in the chat area and let me know if you got any questions. I'm sitting here rambling on. Maybe you don't want to talk about the pound yen. I don't know. Just shoot me a note. Let me know if you want to hear something different. Then I'll put it up on here. U.S. CAD going to be the same as the U.S. dollar index. It's going to start leaking. And I think price, look at that, price got through the middle of that consolidation area that I had talked about at 88.75. So we'll see where this candle closes in about 5 minutes. If it closes lower, then we're going lower. If this stays as a big down close candle, we're going to go lower. But if it pops down and then rejects, we could be coming up higher on it. So let's watch that. And if it does keep going, we're not going to get any retracement. And then this is going to get mitigated, so it's never going to come down to the buy stop, which means you could pretty much just get long any time in here or wait for a small retracement and get long because price isn't going to come back down. It's like it was yesterday when it was trading right here. It had one tiny little retracement. I thought it was going to come down to here, and it just skyrocketed. So that could be the little retracement that we're getting, and that was it. And then it's going to go. So we'll see what happens. The same with the pound dollar, the same with the pound yen, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we put some levels out on this guy here. Again, if price just keeps ripping, we may not get anything. So you could pretty much get in at your own discretion on any down close candle if this one does it, but we'll see. U.S. CAD I was just talking about. You know, same sort of thing, U.S. dollar, if we keep going down, see how this thing just, zoom in here a little bit, just took the lows. I just want to get an even trend line here. 65 and 65. I hate screwing around trend lines, but you can kind of see it on this line right here. Just sort of equal lows right now. It still hasn't jammed through there yet, so I'm waiting for price to drop through here, and then we'll do a retest on it, and you can get short. But if you look at the dollar CAD, look how much room we got. 120.67 is the old low rate here on this feed anyway, and we're at 123. So we've got a good 100 and 200 and 40 pips or so room for this thing to slide. Yeah, about 250 pips for this thing to slide to take the lows down here if it's going to do that. I want to see, because this pair has been, I talked about this earlier in other live sessions and in a couple of video market analysis videos that we put out. This guy here is showing some relative strength compared to the US dollar. These two are pretty closely interconnected, as you can see. This goes down, the US CAD goes down. But because oil has been trading so high and been so bullish, I think it's been preventing some stuff from happening. So I think we could see, I don't know. I want to see if it gets to this low. Watch this area in here, though, on this. I'm not going to put a trade on this guy yet, but watch this consolidation area in here, that it doesn't get ticked. Let's maybe make that a lighter color so it's not so intrusive. Is that good enough? Watch this area in here. There could be a bit of a rebound in there, but price could trade down to that all day long. So top of this high, 122.40. That's a nice round number. Kind of like that number. I don't know. Might do it depending on what the US dollar index does. So anyway, that's the US CAD, and again, all you're looking for is just a retracement, just a small retracement higher, even right up to this blue line. That would be beautiful. If it just price just came up like this and then continued down, you could get short right there. Watch out. I mean, don't go if price wants to come above this second blue line right in here where I got this red mark. Price wants to come above that. You got to watch out, because it might want to be looking for these highs up here. You don't want to ride out a short trade all the way back up there. So just to have a look at that. But it looks like it's, look at that, it could take out those lows right now. I'm going to drop down to the 5-minute chart. I'm going to see this. Okay, so the low on this guy was 123.035. 123. Oh, what have we got here? It's shifted. 123.031. So by 0.4 of a pip, it got it. And so far, we're just shy of it. So I think it's going to just drop out or fall out of bed, actually, to be honest with you. And in which case, you could either get in, you could get short. Here it goes. You could get short on the retest. So if price does this, and then comes back up here, you could get short on here, and then you could go, if price does that at all again, right? I mean, might not. You could get short right now, but yeah, I don't know. You know what? US CAD. I don't like to see price. I don't like to trade price on a breakout like this. Like, ideally, had I been watching it, I would have went short right up here at 123.08. But we're only 5 pips lower than that. So I just want to see what it does. If you don't want to rush into these at all. Price could just be coming down, running 10 pips, taking the stops, and then going to head back up. Depending on what this dollar index wants to do here. I'll just slide over to this. See, that closed down now, convincingly. So I just, you know what, just hold off. Give it a few more minutes. There's no rush. I mean, price is going to be trading, for the next 8 hours, in one way or another, until New York Open hits. And I think we're going to see some movement. So you don't want to rush these things. You're not going to miss anything. If price gets away in you, you don't want to chase it, that's for sure. But you can look for retests and everything. What I'm looking for on here is if price is just going to stab down and then come back up. I do not want to see that. I don't think it will. It closed convincingly underneath that level, so I think we're fairly safe to say that it's going to go much lower from here. So we'll see. I'll come back to this in 10 minutes here. I want to see what this candle does when it closes. Pounds, dollar, pound, yen, loonie, same thing. I'm not going to talk about the Aussie. Talk about crude oil real quick. Again, nice breakout play on crude oil out of this consolidation area here. And just looking for the retest, really. I want to see, I would love it if price, unfortunately, I didn't get in on it. I had a busy day today, and I wasn't able to sit down in front of the charts as much as I'd like to, because price, it was a late day breaker. Like price was, it didn't hit this until 1700 GMT. So that's, what are we, 9 hours. 11, 12, what is that? 7, so that will hit about 9 a.m. So it was when the crude oil inventories basically came out, which I think was 8:30 a.m. Wednesday morning is when price did this, and it jammed back down and then it ran up. So it was kind of a late day mover, but you can see how it was just building up and building up and building up, and then boom, some big volatility, big volatile candle right here, this black one right here, and then just price skyrocketed from there. So I'd love it if crude just sort of trickled back and came right down to this entry right here. That would be beautiful. And then we saw higher prices, and by higher prices I mean this high rate here is going to be the next level I'm looking at. I want to see. So 89, call it 89.50. I'll just change the color up a little bit too, just so it's not, it's all good. So that's that old high right there. I'd love to see if that got taken out here in the by the end of the week. That could be possible. As you look at crude oil, I mean, this thing's been moving a couple of bucks each day. 63, 64. That's a dollar movement. 64, 65, and then 66 now. So that's basically it's kind of all on the same day, but the day divider's on. That's all on the same day. 66. That's a $2 move. So really, there's only $3 left to get up to that high of 89.50 just a little over $3. So if we get a big movement tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and another one into Friday, it'll hit that easily. So I'm just looking for the retracement. Doubt price will come down to here yet. So I would suggest here possibly. If any of you out there are a crude trader, I don't know. That's not what I was looking for. This guy right here. That's a nice level too. 66 even. Could see price move down to here. That would be nice. And that could be a potential for a buy to go long. But again, you got to watch. Crude oil can be slippery, right? It's oil, so it can be slick, and she could slide a bit. Like I just want to show, like we broke out of this consolidation area nicely, and so far price, you know, it hasn't really kind of consolidated, broke out, consolidated, broke out. So we could see it come back down, and you can see how it sort of came down to this. Well, not even. It left a lot of area open under there. It created a couple of lows, came down, took the stops, and then ripped up from, like, just went straight up from there. I don't think we're going to get anything. I doubt it'd come back to 64.86, to be perfectly honest with you. But look on the 15-minute. Price could come down to here, this level right here. You see the top of that candle and the lows right here. Price could just stab under there, grab some liquidity and run higher. Highly doubt it's going to get under there. So 65, 69, 65, 70, that might be another area where you could look at taking a long from. So, you know, and it's only a 30 pip difference. So I'll leave that one up to you guys. I mean, that's, let's get rid of this. And one of these two. So I'll put a buy zone in here. And again, use reduced risk, right? Don't buy zone. Use you know, minimize your risk. Don't trade with a lot of leverage on this one. Same as the pound yen, right? I mean, just minimize it. We're not looking to shoot the moon in one trade and be millionaires in one trade. This is a steady, consistent business where you just take a little bit, take a little bit, take a little bit every single day, and before you know it, in, you know, 4, 5, 6 years, you've got some serious coin in the bank that's moving forward, compounding for you. That's how trading works. You know, we're not trying to trade Bitcoin and become millionaires overnight or anything like that. It's not how this works. So, and price could start trading down here now in the next little while. So we'll watch where this goes. Stop area 65.50. I'm going to say 65.30. 65.40 is probably a good area. I don't necessarily like to put it right on the high of this old candle here because price could slide down to there. So just watch. If price really wants to, is driving down past 65.70, collapse it at 65.66, for instance. Don't go in, let it go any lower than that, because it could come down to this this level in here, the high of this candle, which comes in at 65.40, basically where it's at right now. So just kind of watch what that's going to do. And then again, your targets. I would see what I did over here. If you remember me talking about this order here, where I stacked these orders up. Let's see it better here. Where I stack these 1, 2, 3 orders. Do something like that, and with the U.S. oil here, or crude oil, I mean. And you can have your long-term target up to here at $3, and you know, do, for instance, like 1 mini on that, or 1 contract or whatever, at 69.50, and then just do a couple at 30, and then 50 pips, and you know, 100 pips, and stack them in that way. I would suggest, and I would take, and like I say, so let's say you got off a 66.60, your first initial target always, doesn't matter if it's 66.60 or 65.70, 30 pips. You know, I'll do it a different way, actually. I'll just, right, plain and simple, guys. Take profit. At 30 pips. You know, so wherever that may be, if you're getting it at 66 even or 65.70, take profits at 30, and then do another one at you know, at 50, or you know, call it 60 pips, and then you know, do the next one at 100 pips. Okay, so whatever that may be. You know, these aren't the levels obviously on the chart, but I'm just suggesting, like, trade with less risk, put a couple orders in, you know, all minimized risk, and put different profit levels in there, and set up your orders so you can do a take profit on each one of those 30, 60, and 100 pips, and then set your last one up for that $3 range, you know, $3.50 range for the end of the week, and see if it hits it. And keep moving your stop up the whole way as well too. You don't jam it up there 5 pips under where price is currently at, but you know, once it hits 30 pips, move it all to break even. Once it hits 60 pips, move it all to plus 30. Once it hits 100 pips, move it all to plus 60, and so on and so forth. Okay? So that is crude oil. Again, looking for continued longs on crude oil. So we'll see where that comes down to. And that's a great little area I kind of like. But price has traded down there once, twice, and it looks like it's sliding here. So you got to watch that. I mean, I might even look at taking longs off of this level in here. Could be safe at 65.85. So, you know, just watch it. Watch what price does if you're a crude oil trader. S&P, gold, silver, not going to discuss any of those. US yen. I told you earlier, price was just slamming right in this consolidation here. If you got short up here, congratulations. I don't like trading in the middle of the ranges of consolidation areas. I'm going to do a video, educational video on trading in consolidating zones like this, where price bounces off a predefined trading range. When price is in the middle of these trading ranges, not good to take an order. Don't get into a trade. I don't anyway, because it could go anywhere. You got 50-50 chance it's going to go up or down. But once it's at the extreme outer edges of one of these consolidation areas, that could be a good time to take a trade. You know, for instance, it's coming down here. You know, I would expect this thing, if it doesn't hit 107.30, you could probably take a long, right? If it doesn't, maybe if it trades down, maybe it's going to go through that right now. I don't know. I personally think there's a lot of liquidity sitting right above this area here, and I think before it goes past this blue line, I think it's probably going to take that out. So you could watch, you know. But I think for the short term, we're going to go down. You know, that would be a good target right there. Let me just call these targets out exactly as I see them, just because I want to make sure I am accurate. So that's 108.40 in this area here. That'd be a good target. 108, you know, 40 pips. You can get short right now, and maybe off the bottom of this consolidation area here. Put a pending order in, get short right there, and then watch price drop down into it, and you know, just take a little 60 pip scalp, right? Or 40 pip scalp. I mean, 45 pips. Nothing wrong with that. See what price does at this level. It may want to bounce, rebound, and go higher. Could want to come back down this blue line. I don't know. Again, it's one of those things where now it's starting to get oversold in this area. If you believe in those RSIs and you know, stochastic indicators, it's probably indicating oversold right now. But price could come all the way down to here. I mean, to this old consolidation area. Who knows? There's an area there, and then there's an area right here that I'd be looking at 106.90. You know, as a level that could get traded to. You know, who knows? That's a tough thing about the trading consolidations, but I don't think I'd be going short anywhere past that red line. I'd wait and watch what price wants to do, and I think it might reject and come back up here. So that's the USD yen, or the dollar yen, and again, maybe watch, see if price wants to retest that level there and look at a short. US Swissy. Basically, the US Swiss is the exact inverse of, to the most part, the exact inverse of what the US dollar, Euro USD is, for the most part. What you can see here, it's coming down, price is coming in, taking out those lows right there. I don't know why, but lately I've been rocking these dotted lines for some reason in my analysis. I'm going to keep on that. So these equal lows are, look, that got taken out now. So let's see where we are on the monthly on this one. Just do some quick analysis. Coming down into a very significant area right in here. So let's just take the lows here, that low right there, which traded off this consolidation area. And then price came up, took out the highs, came back down, consolidated again. So there's another consolidation area, which I have marked with this red line right there. Those are also those equal lows, and price just took those out as well too. So we're gonna watch and wait and see where price wants to go from here. I'm assuming it's gonna want to go down again. U.S. dollar index wants to go down, and the U.S. dollar is the first pair in this currency basket. So as long as this thing wants to keep going, everything else will go with it. And I don't think we're gonna get. I'm gonna get my take profit on pound dollar, but I don't think I'm gonna get this euro USD trade in, unfortunately. And I don't necessarily want to just go long arbitrarily. And I want to wait for a bit of a retracement. So I don't know that this level is going to get hit. Again, there is some euro news. You know what? I'll leave this, guys. Sorry, I'm kind of flip-flopping on this one here. Just because it's late. I've been up all day, and you never know with price. I'm going to leave this one here. I think I've given you guys enough room today to kind of discuss, you know, or to kind of create a discussion on where I think price is going to be going. Pound dollar, yeah, I'm giving you lots of stuff, lots of ammo here to work with. US yen, yeah, US Swissy price convincingly broke through that. That is a nice breakthrough. Look at that, and 23 pips already underneath. She's gonna keep skating, I think. So watch that. Real quick, guys, let's go through Bitcoin. Everybody loves Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. Hopefully you do as well. Price still hasn't convincingly broke these highs, so I'm not bullish on this by any stretch of the imagination. I think price is going to come. You've got it. I mean, I can't mark it out on the chart any better than this. I thought it was going to happen a couple of days ago, and price is just slowly kind of trading up, not making any significant highs or anything like that. And it's not like we're getting big bullish candles like these or anything like that. Big rejection blocks or anything like that. But what we could see in the short term is price wanting to do this, retest this 1275 level, and then come down to this area here that I had been calling. I think this is a real good area in here that I like. And then I got another one labeled down here at this 5,000 level. I don't know that price is going to get down that low, but I think we could see price trade into here very, very easily, and it could stay there for a bit, or it could just reject from there. So you got to watch that. I'm not going long on Bitcoin, and what I want to see is I actually wouldn't mind seeing price just take out these highs right here. See the shaded area that I got right here? Would love it if price just sort of came up and wicked into that, and then fell off. And kind of trading, so this is kind of like the consolidation right here, and then you got the break, and then the retest, and then it falls off. That's where you want to go short right there. So 112.75, or, you know, I mean, I could drill down actually. Let's just see here. Yeah. And there's a little area right in here, right above this small consolidation area that I like. So let's just pop a line. So you could pretty much go short anywhere from 1275 to 1255, and I'll just maybe make that an even 1255. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's try that again. $12.55 0.00 right there. Okay, so that's kind of what I like. Just where that shaded area is, price just go up, stab up, wick into it, reject, and trade down lower. So we're gonna go short there. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do anyway. You guys can do whatever the hell you want to do, but I think that's what it's going to do, and so far I've been right. I've been calling this thing short. So after this rejection here, it came up here and price just sat here and chopped sideways. I said short, short, short the whole way since the beginning of January. And I wasn't really trading or looking at this too much over Christmas, obviously. And then it made that final little push, took out that high end, has just completely fell out of bed. $7,000, $8,000 value of that thing has been cut in half, and I think we're going to go even lower. So if you're holding Bitcoin right now and you're long above this blue line right here, good luck to you. I'm sure it'll eventually get back up to 20,000, 19,000 high here, and 20,000 and everything else eventually. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, but you know, you could be holding in a short position for a little while. So I mean, if you're okay with a drawdown on your account, go long. Eventually, I think all of it's going to go up to 50,000, 60,000. Who knows? Maybe they hit 100,000. Might take a couple of years to get to 100K, but you kind of see what I'm driving at. So anyway, that's pretty much about it. I was going to go through copper and sugar and cotton and all of those, and copper was sort of the only one. I set a level in here. I set one level here and said price could rebound here, and it just kind of chopped, went chop, 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 chop. And I set the next level in here. Actually, this blue line I thought it was going to get down to, but it actually, right at the top of these candles, it rejected and it screamed higher. So I'm thinking here, if price continues to stay above this big candle in here, the next highs are going to be up here. So these highs are going to be taken out. So I'm just going to put a marker up here on copper. Kind of surprised me, actually. To be honest with you, I had a position on copper, and on Wednesday morning, we'll call it, I can't believe I did that. Okay, hang on, let me do this. What's the high on this candle here? High comes in at $3.2976. So let's do this. 329.76. 329.76. Okay. And I just want to grab this arrow if I can. There we go. And I want to put this one at even 3.00. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now, come on. So that's going to be my target. So as long as price doesn't come down and break this candle here and come back into this area here, I'd be interested in continuing to go long here. Ooh, might be an interesting little retest down here. So as long as price doesn't come down and break, right, like I say, so this is pretty much where the candle closed, right in here. Let me just put my data buyer on. I could be wrong. Sorry, the candle closed right here. So as long as price doesn't get down below that, I'll be going long on copper. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at there. So I don't know if any of you guys are commodity traders, but that's what I'm looking at. So this is my line in the sand right there, which is 321.4, so you call it 321, right about there. So that would be sort of my line in the sand. If price traded down here, I don't want to see it go any lower than that. Basically, this green line right here, I don't want to see price go any lower than that. Could even come down and just get a bounce right there. So you'd put your stop, if you did go long, you would put your stop pretty much there, under there, right about here, 90, call it even 90, 301.90, 3.190, and that's about, what is that, 14, that's about 25 pips, so that's a nice little range. And again, I gave you your target, which was up here. There's your target. So buy right here, stop right here, and target right here. Here I am saying, well, I don't want to analyze currencies or commodities too much, and yeah, we're right in there like a dirty shirt. Yeah, right there. That's my target. So that would be what I'm looking at. See if price wants to drop down in here, tag it, and then go right up there. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of sick of these red lines. Switch it up to a blue. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. Okay, that's that. Sugar, I did want to actually just discuss this real quickly, if you guys can bear with me for 1 second. I'm looking for price to take this low. See how price is just sitting here, and now it's just wick. It's creating equal lows, and when price does that, it's building up sentiment. So all the long traders are sitting here thinking like, I'm going long because it's not breaking this level, and this is resistance. I'm sorry, this is the support level in here, and I can't grab that goddamn trend line for the life of me. Straighten this thing out. So they're thinking, well, we've got a nice area of support right here. Price came down, banged into it, so it created a low at 0.1288, created another low at 0.1287. Consider it an equal low. Price rebounded up, tried to get higher, failed, and now we're right back in a small consolidation area here. And I'll even just do this and drop down so you can see just consolidating, and just creating a couple equal lows right in here. What I want to see happen is quite simply this, is I want to see price, and hopefully you can see this. I'll just shrink this up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. So we've got the we've got the old low under here, and it's creating this, I believe, in my opinion, a false bottom here, a false support bottom. I think what we're going to see, price could trade sideways for a little while. I don't know how long, maybe another day, maybe another week. I mean, we could get this, which is like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's a month. We could get that. I don't know. But what I'm saying to you is I think we're going to see price stab down, because everyone's going long here. All the long traders, oh, that's support, that's support, that's support. Price isn't going through there. It's banging into that. It's not going. Let's get long. And then they put their stop under here, or they put their stop, 20 or 30 pips under here. So they're all sitting right here. And they sit there and they just build up old orders and build up orders. And then they drop the market down, tag all those stops right there, and then rip the market up. So everyone who was long was technically right, but they had their stop taken because they're trading too close to the market and they didn't wait for that swing lower. So that's what I think we could see happen. You can see something similar happen, for instance, right here. Price came down, stabbed down, didn't take the lows. You see this low right here? These are old lows. These ones didn't get swept until over here. But you can see these old lows here, right? Created a low right here. Everyone's going long, and they're thinking, yes, we're long, we're good to go. No worries. And then price started trading down here, and they're getting nervous, and all of a sudden, they're like, oh, no, we're good. My stop's right under here. It's not going to go any lower than that. That's support. Price traded down, they're like, oh, just missed me, we're good. And price trickled, and then boom, took it. And it just took it by a couple of pips and then smashed the market back up. Same thing here, right? Just took it by just a little, just a pip or two and then smashed back down. I'm expecting the same thing here. So wait and see what that happens. Hopefully I don't miss it. I mean, and it doesn't really matter if you do, because you can get in on a retest. So for example here, price traded in and then it exploded out of the market, exploded out of this consolidation area, came back down and retested the consolidation area and then expanded higher. So that's where you go long right there. Same sort of thing here. Price came in, smashed down. You'd have to drill down into like a 1 hour time frame on this guy here to see where the buy entry was on here, on this candle here. But it's, for instance, if I just did this and shrunk this up a bit, So I'll show you right here where the buy entry would have been. So we're trading in the consolidation area. Actually, you know what? Right here, where the market came down, took those lows out, and then it sent it higher here. And you see this little gap right here, that's where you'd get in, and that's where you'd go long on that, and then you'd see price scream higher than there. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at through here. See if price wants to gap down there, take the stops, trade up, come straight back down in, right off the top of this consolidation level, or even this level in here that it's creating, and then we go higher. So that's what I'm calling on sugar, but I got to check a couple other things on sugar. I keep saying that I'm doing a commodity video here where I'm going to run through a ton of analysis on several different commodities, and I want to see what price is going to do here, what some of the institutional traders are going to be doing, and some of the sentiment and things like that. So I'll update you on that. It's going to be coming out this week whenever I get a chance to do it here. I might be even able to sit down today and get some time in and do that. So cotton I'm not going to discuss, and cocoa, cocoa put in a nice little candle today. Same kind of idea here. It's a little bit sloppier though, so I ended up getting in on a long in this candle here, and I got a great reaction 3 days later on this candle here, and then I put my stop under this guy here, and then it ended up stopping me out. So I made it was a great trade, profitable trade. And I wanted to get long again, but I'm just hesitant on the entry level because it is a little bit sloppy in here. Today would have been a nice candle to get long in. But you see how it's traded up, come back down, created a bit of a gap, traded down, and then closed that gap, and then rejected off of there. That's kind of what's gotten me a little bit nervous. And then it's a failure swing, failure swing, failure swing. So I'm just going to want to see, and they did take the stops under here. You can see how they're building up some stops here for everyone going long, and then they came down and whipped through those. So I just want to see what price is going to do here into Thursday's trading. Its price is going to open up, the CME is going to open up here in about 7 hours from now. So I want to see what price is going to do here, and I might see if I'm still bullish on this. I think price is going to trade up to here. You see this level here, because price is, look at this trend line. Isn't this crazy? Look at that trend line. We're just sort of bouncing off of it right now. It is sloppy though, and I'm not trading off this trend line or anything. I'm trading off this consolidation area that's in here. You see these bodies of these candles in between these two red dotted lines. That's what I'm trading, and it price broke out, traded back in, get long, exploded out, and now it's traded back down. And I just want to see one more candle. I technically should have got long on this candle here today, but I just wasn't in front of the charts to see it. And when I did see it after the fact, it started to trade up. It made me nervous that it was going to be a failure swing, so I didn't want to get long in here. And you can see prices started to trade softer. So I think tomorrow, or sorry, I shouldn't say tomorrow, 7 hours from now, I think what we could see is price gap down. I'm hesitant to say that, I don't know. And then we could trade a little bit lower. If it doesn't, if it gaps up, see, this market tends to gap when it opens. See, market opens, gap down, and then it trades down, trades softer, gap down, fills the gap, filled the gap, right, and came back down, gapped up, traded, filled the gap, and then exploded off. It does fill the gap nicely in a day or two. So let's just say, for example, if price trades down, no big deal. We don't have to go long or anything like that. But if price gaps up from here tomorrow, that's going to give me a good indication of where they want to take this market, and I'll just wait for them to come back down, fill that gap in, and then get long on it. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on cocoa. So we'll watch for that one. But there's been a ton of pairs here that I just threw out some calls on. I don't know if it's all going to come to fruition. This could be a nice retracement in here. This could be nice for that euro trade I was talking. If price bangs off of this level here, I don't want to see it go any higher than this level here. So for the record, if price for the US dollar index, if it starts trading up and it goes higher than here, I don't want to trade it, which means I don't want to take a short in here. I want to see price start to matriculate down on the Euro USD here, come down at our buy level, and we might have to raise our buy level. Where is that? I might have to, I think I might make the call and raise it, just because in the relation to where it's 14 pips, and this guy here, that's the wrong chart, this guy here, we're talking even less, about 11 pips, so that might come to a nice little confluence there. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm kind of moving around quickly here for you guys. Sorry, so if you're getting sick, I apologize. But I kind of like these areas right in here. Even that 45, no, 40's low. And that's where it's at now, eh? You know, it's at 45. I won't be able to move it up any higher. I don't know if price is going to get all the way down here. Watch this one. If you can. 124.41. Price is trading at 124.52. You know what? Here, let's do this. I'm gonna go in a little bit closer. Let's just put it in right here. It's not a even number. I don't like it. I technically like it at 40. But I think 40 might be too low for the market to handle. Yeah, it's not going to let me do it. I just have to do it manually. Yeah, 40 is too low. Oops, what am I doing here? Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong number, guys. You're probably sitting there thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? There we go, 40. So let's see what it does there. We've got this at 35 pips, so that's probably fine. I don't want to see price go any lower than this. And then we got our target. Obviously, that hasn't changed. So I'll just put up a couple of, I think I've got them on this chart already. Yeah. So we'll just adjust these guys here for you. 124.40 and 35 pips. 124. Yeah, 05. Basically under. Yeah, under here is where I want it. So that's good there for a long, and then we've got our target up there at 125.50. So we'll look for that one to come in. Pound dollar is just ripping, and it looks like it's almost about to take my target. So I'm not going to put a trade in on this guy here. This is not valid under here. I'm just going to get rid of these guys here. That was yesterday's trade. You can see what happened. I priced it right. That was my problem yesterday. Was price was trading right here, right at this candle. I was like, oh, I'd love for this thing just to come down just a little bit to my buy area. We'll buy it, we'll go long, and it just tagged off of this high here and just ripped. And that was such a nice trade. I mean, 300 pips to where it is. I mean, that's some serious movement. I'd actually be a little bit hesitant on trading the pound, just because it's making so much of a move right now as well too. I think the trade is going to be in the euro, to be honest with you. So we'll look at that. US CAD, what did I tell you earlier? Price come down, retest off of this old consolidation area here, or old recent consolidation level here. So we'll see what price wants to do there. I would technically look for a short there. I'm not going to put too much time in this. This actually isn't my pair that I trade. This is one of my analyst trades, this 123.05. I mean, somewhere in there, maybe a little less, whatever you want to do. The price may not get any higher than what it's at right now. We're only talking about a few pips here, so it's not the end of the world if we look at the target that we set out, being down there in that shaded area at 122.40. So that's about it. Some crude stuff here, as I mentioned. 66 for a buy, 65.70 for a buy zone. With a target, 30 pips, 60 pips, and 100 pips up there for a weekly range, and that's going to about do it, guys. I appreciate your time. Like I say, Bitcoin, don't want to do nothing there. Copper, we did put a buy out, and I don't know if we're going to get this price. Might just keep on ripping on this guy here. And then I discussed a little bit on cocoa, so we'll see what this wants to do. So there you guys are. Hopefully you got some insight out of today's session. I'm tired. I think I'm going to go grab a few hours sleep before New York Open. And get a little shut-eye, wake up early, and get after the markets again. So we'll watch these trades. I will post these to the, so just in case you're new, if you're a new member or if you are not a member yet, jump on to f45trading.com. We've only got 15 spots left, and those 15 spots are going to run out quickly at the discount rate. So I've got it right here that, again, 15 spots left are remaining at the discount rate. I kind of discussed this earlier, or 5 days. At the end of the month, the offer ends. So if you're not a member yet and you want to get in, to get into the discount rate, get in now, get in quick. There's only 15 spots left, and they're going quick. Go to f45trading.com and sign up, and it's free for 30 days. You don't pay anything for 30 days. You can cancel within 2 weeks of signing up. Nothing gets charged to your card or anything like that. You get the full month free no matter what. You come in, you check out our trade signals, as there's no risk to you, and sign up to our live instant notifications to your phone. So that's through a Telegram app that we've got. All the information's on the website. Check that out. Make sure you click this little button right down here in the bottom right hand corner that says subscribe to our to our YouTube channel, and that way you'll get instant notifications when we go live next, so you won't miss anything. And by the way, our next live session is next Tuesday, same time, same place. Tuesday morning, 12 a.m. New York time, and then Wednesday morning, same time, same place, 12 a.m. New York time, and then next Thursday again, same time, same place, 12 a.m. New York time. So we're always trading the start of the London session. So you can always look forward to that. Just come back and join us anytime. Appreciated you coming in, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.